Shall we start? Wait for 2 minutes. We'll wait for 2 minutes for other participants. कैसा लगा कोर्स करके आपको? हमने कल yesterday we have discussed about the invoice accounts and records. Rule 58 we have completed. Now rule 46 is basically giving the content of the invoice. GST never defined the format. GST never defined the format, but it only gives the content क्या क्या होना चाहिए. Name, address, GST number, conjugated serial number, not exceeding 16 character in one or multiple series, that is okay. From this clause 1 or 2 question can come, or it may be possibility you may have the confusion. I'm asking 2 questions. Question number 1, suppose my financial year 2019-20 has been completed, and on 1st of April I'm sitting, my last number is 397. Can I start from 398, or I have to compulsory start from 01-2021? This is my question. Can I start from 398, or I have to start from 01 by attaching the financial year as well? Give me your reply. Okay, fine. So you all are saying it need to be started from 01. You all are saying that need to be started from 01, right? Second question, can I start only from 01, or I have to start from 01/2021? Question number 2, can I start from 01 only, or I have to affix either as a suffix or as a prefix 2021 I have to attach? Why I'm asking this question? That if I'll give only 01, then how the system will come to know that it is from financial year 2021, 21-22, like that? Because I can have the 01 in the 2021, 01 in the 2020, 21-22, etc. From your reply, I come to know that I cannot start from this number, and affixing the financial year is mandatory. Both are wrong. You can start from 398 and you can give only 01. There is no problem. The requirement of the rule 46 is only the unique. Requirement of the rule 46 is only the unique. The number should be unique. That's it. It can be any number. Doesn't matter, sir. It can be any number. I can start from 398 and I just need to ensure 398 should not be repeated. Yes, sir. I can assure that this number will not be repeated. Meaning thereby it is unique. Yes, sir. It is unique. You can start. When the first financial year came, financial year 18-19, department has issued the advisory on the GST portal that number should be started from 01. After 2 to 3 days, this advisory has been removed. Because number can be anything. Number can be anything. Doesn't necessary that always start 01. So now second question, that if I think that it should be started from 01, is it mandatory? Again, answer is no. Because how the system will come to know that it is for which financial year? Sir, if you do the amendment, normally the people asking the question, people with this view are saying that when you do the amendment, if you put 01, how the system will come to know? Sir, in the amendment table, the first option is the select financial year. Not directly they are asking invoice number. They are asking select the financial year. And then they are asking the number. So if you selected 1920, then they will search only in the 1920, not required to attach the prefix or suffix as a financial year. I hope it's clear. Both the question is clear. Any doubt or any discussion you want? Is it clear? एक बार आप लिख दीजिए. ठीक है, ठीक है. So next है date, name, address, GST number. Name, address and GST number if the registered of the recipient, name, address of the recipient and the address of the delivery. Give me only 1 minute, sir. Give me only 1. Name, address and GST number, name, address of the recipient and delivery address, along with the name of the state if such amount is 50,000 or more. Name, address of the recipient and the delivery address along with the name of the state and the code if such recipient is unregistered and where the value is 50,000 or more, greater than or equal to 50,000. Name, address of the recipient and delivery address along with the name of the state and code if such recipient is unregistered where the value is less than 50,000 and recipient request. If the recipient requests to give, then you have to declare the such detail on the tax invoice. HSN. So you remember that yesterday we have discussed in the table 13 that there is only written HSN, but you should treat the same HSN as well as SSC. Why I am saying so? Because you see the clause number G, HSN code for the goods or services, meaning thereby HSN they are simply treating that HSN for the goods and SSC for services, but you will hardly identify the separate wording for the SSC. Normally they are using the common word HSN for the goods or services. That is the reason I told you that table 13 would have the detail of HSN as well as of SSC. What is the full form of HSN code? What is the full form of HSN code? Harmonized system of nomenclature, absolutely correct. Description, description, quantity, total value, taxable value, and rate of the taxes, amount of the taxes. On this point, there is a circular clause and there is a circular by the department. They have clearly communicated that place of the supply has to be mentioned in case if it is interstate. In this circular, they have highlighted that it has been observed in case of insurance company, banking company, etc., that they are issuing the tax invoice without mentioning the POS, place of supply, along with the name of the state. So normally code would not suffice. Say 07 is for Delhi. So you have to put 07 plus you have to put the name of the state. Further, they have told if you are not mentioning, you would be covered by section 125 and the penalty of the 25,000 can be imposed. Delivery address where the tax is payable on reverse charge basis. If this supplier is registered as a GTA, if the supplier is registered like GTA and his service is falling under reverse charge, he is not paying the tax. Recipient will pay the tax. Whether he has to issue the tax invoice? Yes, because he is registered, he has to issue the tax invoice. He has to issue the tax invoice. In that tax invoice, according to the clause P, he has to mention that tax is payable on RCM basis. Signature, digital signature. provided that board may on the recommendation of the council by notification specify the number of the digit of the HSN code or class of the registered person, that would not be required to mention the HSN code. So they issued the notification. If your turnover is up to 1.5 crore, you are not required to mention the HSN code on the tax invoice. Second, can consolidated invoice can be raised? Normally question, can consolidated invoice be raised? Is it possible? Say for example, I'm say 25 invoices is there per day basis. Can I issue the consolidated? The answer is being given in this proviso. Where an invoice is required to be issued under 31(3)(f), where an invoice is required to be issued under 31(3)(f), a registered person may issue the consolidated invoice at the end of the month. Repeating again. Provided further that where an invoice is required to be issued under 31(3)(f). What is that? Sir, ये self invoice है. When it will be issued? Can you tell me when it will be issued? Yes. In case of the reverse charge. In case of the reverse charge. There is an option only for the reverse charge, and under the reverse charge only for the 9(4). There are two types of the RCM that is covered in the 9(3) and 9(4). So only for the 9(4) consolidation is possible at the end of the month. Month-wise consolidation is possible. The aggregate value if exceed 5,000 in a day from any or all supplies. Can you confirm whether now it is relevant or it is irrelevant? Can you please confirm? Is it relevant or is it irrelevant? Is it relevant or is it irrelevant? Answer is irrelevant. Two reasons. Or rather I should say one first reason, that whether 9(4) is there, answer is yes sir. One category is there that you can say real estate sector. But what is the requirement? To whom the relaxation has been given? That the aggregate value exceed 5,000 in a day from all or such supplies. You know that 9(4), which was effective, which was postponed, suspended from 13th of October. The RCM which has been suspended from 13th October, that RCM was talking about if amount exceeding 5,000, you are required to pay the taxes. This 9(4) has been no more there. 9(4) in excess of 5,000 is not there, sir. Is not there. What is the RCM in the 9(4)? The requirement has been changed altogether, and now only the promoter, real estate sector are covered in the 9(4), and there is no such condition of the 5,000. Therefore, I can say this is irrelevant. Sir, 12%. If you like to go for the forward charge, Srinivasanji, 12%. Otherwise, it will be RCM. If you are making the supply as an export or you are making the supply to SEZ unit, you have to mention one declaration that how you are doing the supply of export or SEZ, either on payment of IGST or on letter of undertaking. That word has to be mentioned on the tax invoice. Along with name and address of the recipient, delivery address and country name. What is the rule 46 capital A? Notwithstanding anything contained. Oh, first give me the answer. Can I issue the invoice cum bill of supply? When bill of supply will be issued? Question number 1, when bill of supply will be issued? Please give the reply fast. In case of exempted goods. Absolutely correct. In case of the exempted goods. And in case of the, right, composition levy. there are two categories in which you have to issue the bill of supply instead of tax invoice. Now think about that you are making the taxable item, you are making the supply of taxable goods as well as exempted goods to one party. Can you issue the invoice cum bill of supply? Say you are having the shop of the stationery in which you are making the supply of one pencil, in which you are making the one supply of the pencil and one book which is exempted. To whom you have given? You have given, say, so for example, ITC Limited company who is registered in the GST. Now both goods are supplied to one party. Can I issue the invoice cum bill of supply? This is my question. Answer is no. Reason: invoice cum bill of supply can be issued only to the unregistered party. If the recipient is registered, in that case you have to issue two separate documents. For taxable item, tax invoice; for exempted item, bill of supply. Time limit to issue the goods, to issue the invoice. In case of the goods, normally the date of the removal of the goods, will be the last date to issue the invoice. Otherwise, so if the goods are involving the movement, for example, from my location to your location, goods involve the movement on account of the supply, it involves the movement. If this is the case, then the date when the goods are removed from my location, I have to issue the tax invoice. Second, if the goods does not involve the movement, for example, I have purchased one institute wherein air condition, table, furniture, computer are there, and he is selling the institute, also selling these goods also, meaning thereby there is a supply. But because of the supply, whether there is any movement of the goods, no. The goods will be there at which currently it is, meaning thereby if there is a supply of the goods but it does not involve the movement, in that case the date when the location of the goods, will be considered the location of the goods when it will be finalized. So the location of the goods, once it is finalized, you are making the delivery to me, that will be the last date to issue the invoice. If it is a continuous supply of the goods, it means you are supplying on regular basis. Take an example that in the morning, supplier of the Bisleri bottle comes to your office on daily basis. वो क्या करता है, डेली बेसिस पर आता है और आपको 5 बॉटल आपके ऑफिस में रख के चला जाता है. In that case, what would be the last date to issue the invoice? If it is a continuous supply of the goods, on or before, either he will issue the account statement, Bisleri वाला, normally 15 days का हिसाब रहता है. Whatever he will give the delivery of the bottle, after 15 days he will submit the account statement or something, one statement, or the payment, whichever is earlier. Okay. This is for goods. Can you tell me, in case of the continuous supply of the goods, when you would be entitled to take the ITC? I hope we have discussed this provision also. That when you are taking the ITC, but when the goods are coming in the lot, so when the last lot is received, you would be entitled to take ITC. You would be entitled to take ITC. Absolutely correct, Priyanka ji. Now I'm talking about services. Services, general clause within 30 days normally. If it is banking, NBFC, 45 days. If it is a continuous supply, go to the next slide. If it is a continuous supply, then you have to see whether due date of the payment is ascertainable from the contract or not. In case of the continuous supply of the goods, there is no mandatory requirement. There is no requirement that it should be continuous for this for this many days. But in case of the continuous supply of the services, we can say any services as a continuous only if it is provided for 3 months. It is provided regularly for 90 days. If any services are there which are provided for 90 days or more, then only you can say it is a regular. It is a continuous. In case of the goods, there is no requirement, which is linking to the number of days. In case of the continuous supply of the services, if the due date is ascertainable, then on or before the due date. If it is not possible to determine, then when he received the payment. If the payment is linked with respect to the completion of the event, normally in case of the construction services, we can say we buy the property under construction, it is supply services, and the payment is something linked that if the first floor is completed, then we will give. If the first floor is completed, then then the customer need to pay 10%. Second floor is completed, then customer need to pay 20% additionally. If the payment is linked with respect to the completion of the event, invoice shall be issued on or before the completion of that event. The credit note, I have told multiple times, one or more tax invoice. So I'm skipping this debit note and credit note. Coming to the how many copies of the invoice, rule 48 is saying that invoice should be in the triplicate, original for recipient, duplicate for transporter, triplicate for supplier. This requirement would not be there in case of the e-invoicing. We all know that e-invoicing will be effective from 1st October 20 for the registered person having the turnover greater than 500 crore. Earlier it was 100 crore. So the recording which will be given to you for e-invoicing will have the 100 crore. Kindly read as 500 crore because this is the amendment. So the CA Club India will provide, I will arrange to upload the recording on e-invoicing chapter. So there is half an hour discussion so that you will become to know about e-invoicing part as well. Invoice shall be prepared in triplicate. Invoice shall be prepared in the triplicate in case the supply of the goods that we have discussed, or if it is supply services, it will be made in the duplicate because transporter would not be there. Serial number should be, during the tax period, should be furnished electronically in the GSTR1, table number 13. In case of e-invoicing, the invoice shall be prepared by such class of the registered person as may be notified, including the particular contained in INV01 e-invoicing after obtaining IRN number. This IRN number, how the IRN number would be received? This, for that information need to be uploaded on the portal. There would be the common portal. GST portal would provide additional portal. GST portal would provide additional portal wherein you can enter the details of the invoices. They will give the IRN number, and IRN number would be used to generate the e-invoice. Entire process would be electronically. So the e-invoicing requirement, we cannot use this as a manual. This would be automated in the software. E-invoicing you cannot generate at your own. It would be, every process would be automated in the software. For a small taxpayer, government are giving, I think, 5 software free of cost. MSME sector के लिए they are providing the free software, and rest of the software will providing the facility of e-invoicing like Tally, Busy. Every company will provide the e-invoicing facility.